Welcome to the Mesonet Weather Report. I'm Wes Lee. Last week was a wonderful taste of spring with beautiful weather. The only thing nicer would have been some strong thunderstorms dropping rain in our parched western counties. As has been the case for a while, rainfall continued to be very limited in the west. This 7-day rainfall map illustrates more melting sleet than accumulated rainfall. Rainfall was limited to the eastern tier of counties, while the central and southwestern counties received varying amounts of sleet. The good news is that as the sleet slowly melted, it all made its way into the soil profile. The bad news is the dry northwest received nothing again. This is highlighted by our map of days since a 1/4 inch of rain has fallen. As of the first of the month, it has been 4 to 6 months for some of our Mesonet sites since a substantial rain was received. Soil moisture maps continue to look like almost two separate states, with the east looking very good and the west extremely dry. This map shows the sensor at the 10-inch depth, green being moist and yellow and red being dry. Next week has some promise of a little help. The National Weather Service forecast map shows most of the state with above normal chances of rain. Now here's Gary focusing on longer-term rainfall maps.
Thanks, Wes, and good morning, everyone. Well, another week, another winter storm, and some people were winners and some people were losers in the precipitation department. Actually, if you like to drive on ice, everybody was a winner because we were definitely slipping and sliding with this one. That was almost all sleet. But we're really concerned about how does this impact the drought monitor. Let's get right to the new map and see where we're at. Well, despite the 1 to 2 inches of sleet across much of the southeastern half of the state, we still have very little improvement. We did stave off some of the worsening or the intensification of the drought, but we did see, again, as I said, a little bit of improvement over in east central Oklahoma. And again, the far, far eastern parts of the state are where they're in at least decent shape going into spring as we start the spring months here on March 1st. So March, April, May are the climatological spring months. That's how we track it in the weather business. Let's take a look back at winter real quickly, however, the precipitation totals. This is why far eastern Oklahoma is in decent shape and the rest of the state is really hurting. We'll take a look at the percent of normal rainfall map for the winter months, December, January, February, and again we see much of the northwestern half of the state, less than 50% of normal rainfall, and that also bleeds down into parts of east central Oklahoma and down into south central Oklahoma. So that's why we had such an increase in the drought monitor over the last 4 to 5 months. Winter really let us down. We can take a look at the outlooks for the month of March from the Climate Prediction Center. Let's take a look at temperatures. We see increased odds of above normal temperatures across the entire state, but especially across the main body of the state, just a little bit less of those greater chances in the panhandle. The precipitation outlook looks good for the eastern half of the state, at least a little bit of slightly increased odds of above normal precipitation. Out across western Oklahoma, however, the western half, basically equal chances of above, below, or near normal precipitation amounts for March. It's not our wettest month, but if we get close to normal, that would certainly help prevent some of that drought from spreading and intensifying. And finally, the March outlook for drought from the Climate Prediction Center. Unfortunately, they see drought persisting where it already exists through the end of the month, except for the far southeastern parts of the state where a little bit of improvement is expected. They have been getting the better rainfall amounts, so a little bit better news for those folks down in that area. So we are in climatological spring. Now we just have to hope that we get some decent rainfall amounts during this spring season. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.